Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Making some changes. As you can see, my hair is getting a lot longer. I'm thinking about doing the buzz cut challenge, I guess, where I see a lot of people are doing the cutting of the hair, like getting it all gone. And I asked my wife the other day, should I do that? Should I cut my hair off, and she said no. So I'm gonna go with what she says, but eventually I'm gonna get it trimmed, I hope. So I'm gonna hide this. So what here's the thing. We all know that we are in an economic and health crisis, and it is crazy. I mean, I'm getting all kinds of different messages, varying messages from all different places, right? And it is kind of annoying because I'm like, well, okay, which way do I go? Which way do I go? And the economy's open, the economy's closed. It's unhealthy. It's not unhealthy. It's a hoax. It's not a hoax. All kinds of stuff. I mean, I hear it from both sides, and it is interesting, and also a little scary how polarizing this whole thing is, and how much we are fragile. If you believe that, put a comment or let me know, or hit a little thumbs up or whatever. And so this really tells me how fragile we are and how important it is. The stuff that we are doing is so important. And I just see, this crisis really showing our vulnerability. Our vulnerability in our own personal lives, in our own businesses, in our government, in our health system. The vulnerability is really, really, really big. And that is terrifying to me. And it really should terrify you, I think. Should terrify you as well, to say, okay, what do we do about this? How do we overcome this? And so what I've seen, and this is why we do what we do. This is why, and people may say, oh, well, all right, yeah, whatever, you're different, and this is different, and everybody thinks that they're the different case. They're unique. They are the God's chosen one that broke some kind of thing, and they figured out the world. I don't know. I mean, we all are unique, I believe, but oftentimes we think we're above it. We think we've figured out how to game the system. We figured out how to shortcut things, and that we are above even the law, and that the health crisis, it's not going to impact me. I can still go out and do stuff. There's they're not riots yet, but people are protesting. And I believe that we should have a healthy economy, a healthy business structure, and all of that. Like, I'm a small business owner. I think it's important. But at the same time, we're balancing human life value and all of that. And I think it's a hard thing to balance both of those things, right? But what it's really hitting is the vulnerability of the poor. And the rich are going to get richer because of this. The rich are going to get so much richer because of it. And the poor are probably going to get poorer. And what's interesting is the rich will follow their lead. Will say, oh, well, no, they're saying this, so therefore we need to do this. Or don't pull out of the market right now because, you'll lose a lot of money. Whenever maybe if it goes down again, like it possibly could, you could lose even more money, and it's going to take even longer to get back. Like, again, I don't know. But what I'm seeing is businesses, personal are they are like these upside down pyramids. And I put this here. This is an old podcast we did that says this money at risk that you may not be okay with losing, and then safe liquid cash reserves. What this showed me with this whole crisis is businesses, people, all of this were upside down in all these pyramids. There was just an earthquake that happened, and all of these pyramids fell over all over the place. And that is terrifying. I mean, I knew, like, there's a crisis that happens, somebody has a heart attack or something happens, right? That causes a challenge, right? And you have to overcome that, right? And it affects you, and you're distraught, and affects your family. But when it impacts the world, because we have not done grandma's strategy, that is horrible. And it's scary, very, very scary to me. And it's because we thought we were smarter. We thought we were smarter than that. And yeah, Jesse, it'll be a slow recovery. I think you are correct. And I think we can learn from this. The definition of insanity: doing the exact same thing and expecting different results. How we come out of this is going to be very, very important for each one of you. How we come out of this is going to be very, very important. I'm going to say that again, because you can control your own destiny. You can make different decisions than you did before. Will it be different? Yes. Will we have to figure out jobs and all that other stuff? Yes. Well, maybe we lost our job. Maybe we are going to be in the digital age, and there's all kinds of things. That's what we're trying to figure out now is, okay, so yes, this happened. How do I build a more solid, stable business and foundation? Even us, Grandma's Wealth Wisdom, who I believe we have a pretty solid, stable foundation. It's affected us, right? Because it's affected you. It's affected the world. And this whole rate of return thing that people love to talk about, now they're not. They're just hoping they got their money when they go into retirement or when they go into whatever. Let me know if you think that's crazy, if you think I'm nuts. But what I've seen is, man, people, like, this whole world was built on this, right? You can see safe and liquid cash reserves. Apparently, a lot of businesses were not there because they all need bailouts too. And we're getting this government money and more, I think, on the way. Where is that going to come from? Who's going to pay for that? And so, again, that is going to happen. There is going to be some changes that happen. The question I ask is, with this economic and health crisis, what are you going to do about it? And this is teaching me, again, I knew that this was a good, or I thought this was true. This just proved that it was true to me. And so what you want to do is stop gambling and getting serious about savings. This is in our podcast. It is, I don't know what episode, September 28th, 2018. This was when this aired. So if you want to listen to it, go for it. But stop gambling and getting serious about savings. Even now, start being serious about savings. I know it's hard when we've lost everything, but maybe it's time to start being serious. And then think about, when is it better to save versus invest? What I've seen a lot recently is people have said, I need to build my emergency fund. I need to keep building my emergency fund. And Dave Ramsey's $1,000 emergency fund apparently didn't cut it, right? So maybe some people did have $1,000. I would say what we need to be doing is building a solid emergency fund in case this happens again. So I know I've lost a lot of people because I'm talking about, you actually having to do something, right? You have to actually do something with the information. But it's up to you, right? And I know, like, we're in a crisis, every one of us. We've lost jobs. We are having to figure this out. The question is going to be, what are you going to do as you come out of this? How are you going to be different as you come out of this? What are you going to do differently about your finances and your business? Because, I mean, I'm speaking to business owners here. Business owners, we have the power to do things. And what I'm also seeing and learning is the reason that the government says the small business is the backbone of our economy is because where do banks get a lot of their money? With fees and with the credit card processing and all of that other stuff. Where do they get their money? From a lot of small businesses. And so if we don't build a solid foundation, it's going to affect us from a business owner. If we don't have that stability in place, it is going to be even harder to grow. And I believe that there's going to be a bigger divide between the rich and poor. And what I've learned is the rich usually have safe, liquid cash available for when a crisis happens, whether when a crisis happens or an opportunity happens. And that's where the wealthy get wealthy and the poor get poorer. And so what I'm again thinking is, okay, we have a choice. Each one of us has a choice in the next phase in our life. There will be another correction. There will be something else that happens in the future. What are we going to do? This whole idea of FIRE, you ever heard of financial independence, retire early? The FIRE movement is a great movement. I like the idea of financial independence, but their way in which they achieve this retire early is through the same methods that got us in the situation in the first place in 08, and a lot of the same methods that they've lost a lot. And so maybe building your foundation in a more solid way with safe and liquid cash reserves using, I mean, I use infinite banking. The reason I love infinite banking is because if it is a protection, if something happens to me health-wise, that my family is taken care of. And at the same time, I can access this money for emergencies. I can access this money for opportunities. I mean, shoot, I just did it for buying a house. And then I still have stuff that's growing and higher up for the longer phases in my life, like and retirement. And I think we need to not get this twisted. Investing is not savings. What's happening a lot with people is they are in a place. This is true. They've lost their jobs. They have their money in a 401k, or it's vested with these companies. And this is what I'm thinking is going to be even more interesting, is these companies who have a vesting schedule. Well, if you lost your job and you have to vest for 4 years and you've been there for 2, and they're going to fire you or not rehire you, do you think you're going to get that money that you thought you were going to get, that you were looking at and saying, I have this money? Well, actually you didn't. And so that's a double whammy that happens to you. And so really think about this. This is a time where we can really reflect. Don't keep your head in the sand. Change your behavior. Build this. You know, you have the option, the power to do that, but you have to do it. So that's all I wanted to say here. This economic and health crisis is teaching me a lot. It is teaching me a lot of how vulnerable, how fragile, how we above the law that people think they are, that it's not going to happen to them. It's not going to be them. It's not this, and blah, blah, blah. And you have to ask yourself, is that me? Am I saying the same thing? And go back and say, okay, what do I do to build stability in my life, in my business, in my family, all in every area of our life, health wise. What do I got to do to build stability? It's up to you. Go back to the foundation. Rebuild your foundation. Build it so that way it can withstand any earthquake that comes. So if you like this, hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, hit the bell so you don't get all the notifications. And we are doing a class, a master class that's coming up. And really, we just, to get this, you can go here, bit.ly GWW1Q, and answer one question. And we are going to teach some of the stuff. We wish we would have created this before this crash happened. What this taught me is, man, I need to get out there. I need to be more aggressive and speak my mind on this and help as many people as I can who want to listen. I encourage you, keep listening, keep learning, keep growing. Find people who are different than you and learn from people that are overcoming this in a positive, powerful way. It's up to you to take control of your financial future. It's up to you to take charge. I can't do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. It's again, it's up to you. And we can be guides. We can help you at Grandma's Wealth Wisdom, but ultimately, you have to take charge of your own cash flow. You have to learn how to leverage your own assets, and you have to break through to a smart, stable financial future. Not me, not anybody else. You can learn and also ask the question of, am I being played here, or am I the one that's taking control and building that stability? Don't be a consumer in all areas of your life. Be a individual, one that is producing even. Like there's going to be a lot of money that can be made through this whole thing. What are you going to do about it? So with that, you guys have a great day, and we will talk to you next time.